Voice chat knows. What stock is that again? Welcome to Read the Room with Unc. You making videos now. God damn. What is up, everybody? This is Unc coming at you this week's Read the Room. A lot going on in the Discord coming up on the 1 year anniversary. Um, Putting out them videos, trying to get a little content out there just to get some awareness on our plays. And I know the 2 hour or hour and a half sometimes that voice chat turns into. It seems like a long waste of time, but trust me, the gems that are created there are worth it. If it was a 5 minute process, everyone would do it. Um, so let's hop into read the room. What we usually do here, of course, I'm gonna do a little victory lap. Um, no lie, no lie. These read the room list, last 5 day change. You could see right here. Huge numbers, huge numbers, huge numbers. I didn't even get the BBAI on here that we did call. Um, so it didn't even make my focus notes list. So kind of a little disappointed in that. But we did call it when it happened in the room, um, both Monday and Friday. So that was good to see. And you can see down here actually this list. The room list is doing better than the focus notes. Um, Although in my defense of that is some of these have been on here for a couple weeks, so um, that they're checking back down is a different story than the freshies. But man, the freshies, if you get them while they're hot, they're looking real good. And then if you're a little late, sometimes you're still good here. Let's pop up this. Yeah, this is the week before. Same thing. Just get a pullback. But man, Beely was real good when it happened. And then 14th. So yeah, why is that not staying there? At AI back then, Jesus. Um, but yeah, I like to keep a couple of them up and get there. But yeah, doing real good on that. And with that, let's hop right into this week's read the room. We'll save a little bit of EDU for the end, depending on how much time we have. I've already wasted 2.5 minutes. So, and I like to keep this one short so you guys can watch it. So first up, we'll do this the standard approach way. Bam. Airbnb 120 or 120 09 91 40. That should say volume profile on it. My bad, fam. My bad, my bad. And my charts aren't kind of set up how. We're good. We can roll with this. I need a little more on the day though. Yeah, so got this nice channel here forming. We're at the top of it again, just with the market conditions, seeing if it breaks out. I did mention it down here on the 91, but just didn't have the flow read. So I want to see if we have this volume profile flow read, which is 150. Pretty simple setup there. Just trying to stay ahead of these bigger names, everyone knows. Alto, we're on this a couple weeks ago. Didn't have the flow. Um, can't really call. I gotta put this over here. Can't really call the professor out right now on that because everything's going up. So I can't say, hey, you missed one. Just didn't have flow. Didn't meet the setup. But I want to see if it's there now because it has enough left. 49 and the trend we're on here fits this nice. Uh, I didn't put these lines up. Oh, sorry. Tripping. 2, 3. I didn't put these lines on here. Some of these lines have been, most of these lines have been on since summer. So, yeah, plenty of room back to just, as we're approaching this level, back to this level is all I'm looking for. So, kind of catching up with that 200 too. I want to see if that's a good buy signal. But yeah, my lines have been on these charts since the summertime. So, um, I don't really like to change them much unless the concept is proven. CLSK 330 405. This is a Bitcoin play. Kind of a lagger in the sector, even though it is up 20% last week. I think I mentioned it a couple weeks ago, but we broke out in this channel, still at the bottom. This 10% is enough for me to play, especially if you look at the range back. This thing does run rather quick. So if we do get a spike in Bitcoin, this could see $6 real quick. I just want to see what the flow says on this guy, if there is any there. I think we went over this one before, though, and it was a no dice. Cook, this is Traeger. So 307, 676. Sorry, it's late over here. Trend. Looked at way too many screens this week, too. Um, yeah, just in the channel. Want to see what the flow, if the flows have strong 5. If so, that's good enough to play here. I like the company name, and I do think just going off of the basics here, you know, that $5 to $10 range is probably where we should be at, somewhere in there. A little lower float, lower volume. Do we have? Sorry that I'm over here. But we do have dollar strikes on the option. So if you see something, this is just a little, seems like a little easy one that I actually like the name of too. Use the product, right? I always say that. If you got a Traeger, come on now. Caesar, professor said casinos, gambling, gaming, I believe. Or gaming and oil too. Yeah, oil. But yeah, so this is the one I like this chart. Rest of them were probably talked about in voice chat, but they're overextended a little bit. This one, CZ R5547 RTL. This is a new line. I just put this mother up. No lie. Yeah, so I like this gap we got here to see if we have um, what are we gonna call that? Like 70s, 65, 70s from here. That'd be enough meat on the bone. But we turn this trend around. For me, there's a lot of range left on this guy, and this is probably the biggest area for it if it's gonna break out. A lot of charts look like this. We'll save that for EDU, but it's a great example. Coming into the new year, it tried out October, sold off December. We're back here and we're going to try again. And I just think we're in better conditions currently to try again. So if we haven't done the Facebook or the Tesla, I want to check you out. I definitely want to stay with you. I think those are the better place. Dino, speaking of oil, 5304, 4196, top of the food chain. Oil's pulling back last week. Played this on 55 last time. My note on this, legit, I can go back in January and look at it, but I know it off the rip of my head. It's $80 oil. Play this. So if this when it broke out into the 80s last time, which it really didn't go far in the 80s last time, this had a nice run. Kind of turning this into support resistance again. 50's the bottom here, so I like that nice tight gap. I can play that. Flow reads usually lead the way on the good old dinosaur. DNMR 390, 817 trend. A lot of repeats this week of ones that I think we should have already been on, but they still have enough to get back. My line is closer to volume profile than this 324 here, but we haven't even made that back. Just want to see what the flow says, and I think the industrials, chemicals, materials are coming back. Donut, this is Krispy Kreme. Pretty sure it's Krispy Kreme. Let's check. 1284, 1440, bottom. It better be because I'm not redoing the video. Yes, it is. Yeah, so we just got back to this bottom of the channel. Huge sell-off. They actually had news, something about their UK. They weren't doing good in the UK or something. But we're back here. We want to see what the flow says on Mr. Donut. Devin, DVN 6028, 5378 top. These are the same oil setups the last time Professor said oil was coming in. What I mean by the same setups is the chart is in the exact same place the last time he said oil was. Even though we got a little more of a flush, we were kind of right around this level before he said reverses. These are the two I like and can play from the share side the best. Figs, 916 to 14, bottom. Did mention this in collabs because I seen this 916 holding here. Just wanted to be ahead of it. Or excuse me, I seen the 916 breaking out. Now I see it holding, but I just wanted to be ahead of it. Weekly looks really, really good for this get back above 10. If it does get above the psychological level, can pop. Fubo, 283, 346 trend. But Fubo is already on the hot list. Yeah, no, but I got 3 lines on this chart, and we just confirmed another level. So I want to see if we have 350s. Yeah, I like this setup though. I think we're getting spicy again here, especially if we get some news around the Super Bowl, if they do anything around the Super Bowl. Hertz, 1772 with the ER. Another one we just didn't get back into because didn't like the setup, but I like how we got above our level. One line I got, and we are going into the ER ski Tuesday. I think they're making money. Me and Professor are going to talk about that. A lot of ERs this week. We are definitely in the middle of that. Um, where were we at? Oh, Kodak. $4.53, $6.94. Like the trend on the Kodak. This is thick this week, but there's a lot of them. Yep, this never really got down to our historical level. It's kind of consolidated on a higher low a couple times. I think we can get back to the the $455 range or the volume profile here. 7 is where it moved before. If we can reclaim the trend line, that's kind of where we are. Interested in what the flow. If the flow is 7 on that, that's a laydown in my opinion. 46.20, 61.12 bottom on the Marvel. These are not comic books. These are semiconductors. Yeah, just reclaim this channel. Same setup. If you're not looking at the weeklies as I'm talking, how we kind of are confirmed above the level I have, like we're popping above that, and we're getting back into a channel that has just basically said December, January is the only change. It's just a 2 month. We're at the same location. If you don't see that, that's what my setup right now. I'm sorry, because I've talked about it. Inflows and outflows, and this kind of V recovery. Yeah, so I like this setup, especially since I got range from this 45 to 60. Sorry, pound the table on that one though. Matterport 383, 571. Reclaim this channel. It's kind of a tech company, but they could get sucked up in the AI because of what they do. So I'm kind of staying on them. Reclaiming the channel here. You see the same setup just talked about. Sorry. Invis. Do they might have ER too? No, not for a while. Invis. 311 $5.81 reclaim. Sorry, I messed that one all up. Yeah, I like this. I think, especially with the EV kind of goes in stages where you get EV, then you get chargers, then you get batteries, then you get like the obscure LiDAR companies, and that's what they are. So, like this chart, interested in the flow reads, because the flow reads usually lead the way there, to be honest. He usually hits that before me. Rad, 350, 575, volume P. I've been watching you for a while now. We got this nice flat bottom, but yeah, this is what it is. This 350 right here is just, it's kind of, there's a level there now. We have some shares. It's literally the 1 year volume. So many shares have been traded. It's the most traded location over 1 year. This is the only time it's been in that price range. Wait. Let me. This is the only time it's been in that price range in the last year. Look at the 3 year. I mean, it's almost up to what it did at $7 or $8. So very strong down here. That's why I wait for the volume profile to flip, and that's why I use volume profile, because you don't really know how much volume is here, but I do now. It's comparatively to what's happened the rest of the year. So it's been a lot. Ride 153, 229. Reclaim. Say it with me. All stocks are poop. This is probably a poopier one. See the setup? I know you do. I just want to see if the professor has twos. I think there's enough meat on the bone. And again, EV has been hot. Cents. Sugar beet. $1.18. 165. Reclaim. Professor said this a few weeks ago. And I like that we reclaim the 118 level here. The volume isn't been the greatest, but it's still over like 3 mil, so it's not like horribly bad. But if he has good flow read on this is not a bad little lotto, because they it is sugar beet, isn't it? They do these glucose monitor. It's pretty cool. So they just get some good PR. So I like it in that regard. They're the one that dumped on FDA approval. Top $4, $7 volume profile. This one I hope has good flow. You can see the 4 there. The 7 was where we played before. See the nice big C curve, reverse C right there. That's perfect. Set up perfect to play back into this channel. Even if we only go mid bar here, we're still, 550 or so. So I like them. I like the ones with that kind of range. Val 719 top. This one I don't think got enough attention. It's boring. But Professor had this thing so low that we had to make another line. If we confirm anything up here above 1650, my opinion, we could leg up. This is kind of just a natural occurrence, in my opinion. I believe they're also oil. Let me check on that. I think they're oil. I know they're Brazil. No, they're iron ore, nickel. They're metals out of Brazil. But still, like it a lot. Yelp, $33, 26.68 on the Yelp. What was the man, I didn't put most of them on there at the top. My bad. So yeah, we're just the top of this channel. This has got a huge drop to a V, but yeah. That's what I think they call that inverse head and shoulders or so. I don't know. I just know we're about to bust out this volume profile channel and I want to know if we have flow back to 40 or not. That's it. Zoom. Professor really liked this one. He's going to talk about it a lot. Watch. 80.25. It's going in leaps. 110.80 bottom. Just reclaiming this channel here. I'll let it load before I start talking. But reclaiming this channel a little behind where it was. Really should probably be test the 100 from me. That's 20% from here. So I like that setup. So yeah, where are we at? Oh, we got about 3 minutes. Perfect. So that's kind of the EDU I want to talk about is that, but I'd rather use a different chart. Let's use, is Piton a good one? No, Piton's going to be horrible. Yeah, well, Piton's a good example if you just take this weekly out. So a lot of these charts have this where we were kind of like range bound. And that's a different setup. If you're range bound for 6 months, breaking out is probably going to be a little easier for you. But just stocks that have completed this channel have a high tendency to break out of these channels right now. I mean, I'm not going to talk too much like about Tesla or Facebook because or Meta, sorry, because that was flipping ridiculous. Like that's not normal for it to run all the way through a channel like that. But it didn't have much down here, so getting just back into this range is normal. And I want you guys to look at, I don't care what chart it is, but look at the chart that way right now. Where was it 6 months ago? Because we're probably going to be back into that zone. We're at least going to test it. We may not stay in it or break through it, but if you still have some range and levels that you have, I really think right now is a good, let me go to a better list, is a good, that's the large list will probably be really good, is a good time to play those. Cat, not a good example. It ran into the new year. Let's go T-Mobile. T-Mobile might be a good example. Yeah, it's pulling back to this 145, which normally does, but you're still in a higher low. Trend hasn't really changed on that guy. How about, well, like Crowd? Crowd's probably another good example. Yeah, sold off end of the year, but it still has this enough to give on the bone. And if you look where it was at just 6 months ago, it was kind of in this higher channel of 170. So I think a lot of these, let's go to my baby. My baby will be good because I know a lot about it. A lot of these are going to do that. If you look at Square on the weekly, like we're barely just back to this, the high test from the summer or June or July. So we really haven't got them back. So knowing the levels that should test is not only going to give you a good entry in case these do get up out of the bottom, but they're also going to let you just play a defined range right now. So I would really stick with a couple of plays, especially your long-term plays, and play them. Even if you're into how about a Disney? I mean, this was last week. I called it off 103, right? We called our 2 weeks ago, obviously, because it didn't get down there last week. But as soon as Disney picks up off this, now we're going to be in a new range. And that new range, even if you look back here and just go off the top, it's to 120. Or you take the next top, which is 160. So we're just kind of, as soon as the trend changes, a lot of these have a lot of room to run. So I guess the main point of that is the weekly right now is your best friend. Just to kind of see how much it's given up and what it has left. And then obviously the sector, still important. Trend, sector. What was the other one? Levels. And if they're profitable, profitable might not matter. They're just staying in business. Probably enough right now. So get your levels. Use ours, use yours. Just find some. Follow them daily. Have your plan. Shout out to Pele on the plan. But have a plan and just update that regularly. If you guys need any help, as always, just ask questions out loud in the room. We'll walk you through any play, give you any level. Um, Very happy with the new people interacting already. But yeah, let's continue the streak. Have a good week. Play what's in front of us and take that profit when it's on the table. All right, everyone, have a good weekend. I'll see you Sunday. As always, respect the lines, but most importantly, read the room.